Bueno, vamos a ir dando comienzo al directo. Vamos a ver que nos pille el... Ahí estamos, ya lo he pillado. Y vamos allá a continuar con Genshin Impact. Vale, que estábamos aquí, que bueno. Ahora han metido... Bueno, todo ha estado el retorno estelar, madre mía. Como ha pasado un tiempo desde que entré, vamos a pillar recompensas, ya que estamos. Ahí está, novedades de Teyvat, no me importan, pero así ya nos sale... Ay, mira, cuántas protogemas han ido saliendo. Ah, mira, vamos a empezar, de hecho, mejor aún. Vamos a empezar por el tema de nuevas sensaciones. Requiem desde el abismo. Vale, esto es tema que todavía no nos interesa porque esto es para tema progreso. Que todavía tendríamos que pasar toda la parte de Inazuma y demás, así que nada. Presus Custos, vale, esto es una nueva misión legendaria. Este es un nuevo personaje que han metido. La Sima, que es el nuevo área. Tengo ganas de ir. Ya me pegaré un vicio este fin de semana con mi otra cuenta. La gran serpiente de la Sima. Este es un nuevo enemigo al que nos enfrentaremos ahí en la Sima. Vamos, de todo esto de la Sima. O sea, todavía por nuestra parte tendríamos que hacernos toda la zona esta que hay por ahí. ¿Vale? Que hay mucho por descubrir por ahí. Pero es que la nueva zona es esto de ahí. Que dice, va, tampoco es mucho. Tiene pinta de que va a ser bastante lo que hay ahí metido. Pero, como he dicho, o sea, antes tengo que hacer todo lo que es Inazuma. Que todavía no hemos llegado. Así que antes de empezar, vamos a hacer que aquí el señor Venti nos hable. Ya está, ya nos ha hablado lo suficiente. Pase de batalla, recogemos el de inicio de sesión. Vemos por aquí que tenemos nuevos banners sobre los que ir tirando. Vale, esto ya iremos viendo, a ver si tiramos alguno. Y por aquí no hay nada más. Vale, pues vamos a probar personaje. Nuevas sensaciones. Voy a empezar por Kamisata Yato, que es el nuevo personaje que van a meter. Parece que es un personaje de espada y de elemento agua. Vamos a ver. Edición del personaje, la habilidad elemental de Kamisata Yato crea una ilusión de agua que confunde a los enemigos. Vale, me gusta. Y hace que entre en estado de reflejo torrencial, durante el cual atacará usando una hidroespada para infligir daño hidro en el área de efecto. Mola, al menos en letra mola. Con su habilidad definitiva crea un jardín de paz aqueo. Joder, yo ahora esta palabra no existe ni de coña. En el que caen filos de agua continuamente, los cuales atacan a los enemigos en su interior. El jardín aqueo aumenta el daño de ataque normal de los personajes que hay dentro de él. Hostia, pues esto igual combinado con Ganju puede estar interesante y todo. Para probar más fácilmente la habilidad definitiva, bla bla. Bueno, sí. Es este. Vale. Y su habilidad. Vale, y crea el efecto este. Cómo cambia, ¿no? Hostia, mola, venga. Quiero probar ya. Va. Entonces, creo ahí esto. ¡Guau! Vamos con la definitiva. Y si a la definitiva le añado... ¡Guau, venga! ¡Madre mía! Pues esto es una gozada. Vale que está un poco bestia ya el personaje para hacer más daño y todo. Pero aún así me mola. La forma de combatir me mola del personaje. Me mola bastante. Así voy pidiendo recompensas ahora. Vamos con 20. A 20 ya le conozco un poquito más. Este va a arco. Y este básicamente 20 realmente está bien llevártelo de personaje para el hecho de alcanzar ciertas zonas a las que no llegas. Luego, bueno, es personaje de Anemo.
You're in for a little shock, right? Time for takeoff.
Aquí, esta es la parte chula de...
Try not to enjoy this too much.
Ah, con eso se puede meter bastantes joyas.
Yahoo! Think you can get away? Out of the frying pan, into the fire. Eat this! Here we go. Time for takeoff.
Ahora. Otro que ya está probado. Los otros personajes que había para probar no me acuerdo ni quiénes eran. Ah, vale. O sea, Sacarosa, esta está chula también. Esta sobre todo para reacciones elementales viene genial.
Stand clear. Come a little closer. Enhanced animal module 75.
This moment will be frozen in time.
Surrendering will be gentle.
Sacarosa normalmente la suelo llevar con el arma que te permite poder repetir la habilidad elemental, porque es realmente la que más vas a utilizar, la habilidad elemental. Al menos en mi caso. Y por último me queda Junjin. También está curiosa. Mira que es un personaje que ya conozco.
Flags up. Observe. Leave it all to me.
Este es combate de a ver quién se pone más escudos.
Strike is one. Observe. As a good knight should. And leap. Break a leg. Time to clean up.
Venga, ahora y pilla.
Flags fly. And leap. Strike is one. I must leave no stone unturned, as a dutiful maid would. And leap. Break a leg.
Ahora. Ya están todos probados, así que ya podemos continuar con nuestro objetivo, que es conseguir llegar al puerto de Inazuma, que va a estar complicado, hay que en 2 horitas llegar, pero bueno. Vamos a ir viendo las recompensas. Ahí está todo. Aquí te va una recompensa más. Venga, pues ¿para dónde tendría que ir? Directamente. A la entrada del reino de los lobos. A ver qué nos cuentan. A ver, Silverleaf. A ver cuando te hacen personaje jugable.
Dang, there you are. Did you see Master Jean?
I saw her, but purposely avoided her. As both the Lion Fang Knight and acting Grand Master, she naturally would have some reservations towards me. If I'm not careful, one day I may find myself becoming the object of one of her investigations. But back to the matter at hand. I defeated some of the Abyss forces, but wasn't able to gather any information. Did you have more success?
Tuvimos ahí el enfrentamiento contra Boreas.
Sí.
Bueno, no, contra Boreas no, para salvar a Boreas.
We can more or less figure out where the first field tiller ended up.
Huh? Really? Just from the Lupus Boreas story?
That information combined with a more comprehensive and, for example, the old story you told me you heard in the cathedral.
Furia del Tirano.
The strange story told to you by that young sister. long mistaken to be a curse rained down by a deceased
Porque
tyrant.
la bola de fuego probablemente fueran misiles, que eran misiles de los labradores.
So the tyrant's final fury was really just missiles fired from the field tiller after it ran from Wolvendom. After it was damaged in the fight with the wolf of the north, it must have wandered into the ruins of Old Mondstadt and stayed there. Then, whenever anyone got close, pew, pew, boom! It would fire a ton of missiles at them. Until one day, it finally broke down for good. And the fire back then, the people of Mondstadt hadn't seen many ruin guards before. So they came to interpret it as the tyrant's final.
It looks like we need to make a trip to Storm Terror's lair and comb the entire area. What do you mean?
Que sí, sé quién es el primer labrador.
Oh, Paimon remembers too. We saw that abandoned ruin guard sitting atop the tower when we.
Ahora nos vamos a la guarida de Storm Terror. De hecho, este puto de transporte creo que era bueno. ¿A qué me he equivocado? Ah, no. Ese está justo debajo.
Next on the agenda.
Aquí está. Este es el que buscamos.
This is it, right? Okay then.
Pero no tiene el ojo.
Ooh, so what did you? Huh? Nothing. What's going on? Are you sure you did it right?
This requires another method. Using elemental sight on a field tiller is of no use because it is not powered. Let me give it a try. And done.
Wow.
The very thing the Abyss Herald
Ojo, el
has been
primer
seeking all
labrador.
along. The eye of the first field tiller. All of the ruin guards today are just replicas of this machine. As the prototype, its combat capability was unrestricted.
Prototype? Paimon doesn't know that word. Is it another ancient term for?
As the Abyss Order has surmised, if this eye is placed in the hands of the defiled statue, and if the limbs of Osial, Overlord of the Vortex, are attached to the statue, and this newly born god will have the power to topple the divine thrones of Celestia.
Hay que entregar del abismo.
Then, what should we do with this eye?
Pues a la iglesia de Favonius. ¿Ah?
You? Dane? You won't go and do it.
You may doubt me if you wish, but I must ensure it does not fall into the wrong hands. No matter where we may hide it, they will find it. And as for the Church of Favonius, well, you know I don't trust them.
Oh.
But our work isn't done yet. To avoid any further repercussions, we must also take care of that defiled statue. We can't have the church get involved. Let's handle it ourselves. As for what I mean by take care of it, naturally I mean to completely destroy it.
Destroy it? That's a statue of the Seven! As well as being a really important cultural relic, they're actually... well... good thing we didn't tell Barbara earlier.
Do the Seven really expect me to help them look after what belongs to them? Let's go back to those ruins and destroy the inverted statue. If we are lucky, we will also run into that a bit. I'll make sure it doesn't get away this time.
Vamos allá. A ver, a la estatua profanada. Otra vez. De hecho, igual el mejor camino es este aquí. allá. Hago una parte potente de esta de este final de historia, bueno, de capítulo, digamos. Está bastante potente. Vamos allá. Puerto Raz. Uy. Vamos allá, de vuelta.
After all that running around, we end up right back here again.
Sí, pero esta vez no vamos a ir por otro
We
camino.
barely escaped this place last time, and now we're strolling right back in. Gee, surely we must be some of the bravest adventurers in all of Tibet.
Vamos a ver si soy capaz de pasar esto a la primera, y no lo sé.
Get to that creepy statue.
Bien.
We just need to follow the path we used to escape.
Esto me pasa por no saltar. A ver. Tiki tiki ti. ¡No! Me pilló. ¡Ah! Joder. A ver, nuevo intento. Uf. Va, dime que llego, dime que llego, dime que llego. ¡No! Que no puedo tirar de pared aquí, no me fastidies. Ay, Dios, de verdad, ¿en serio esto me va a costar tanto? Con lo fácil que me pareció la primera vez que lo hice. Bueno, fácil. En plan de que me lo hice la primera. Ahí va, ahora sí, ahora sí, ahora sí, ahora sí. Ahora sí, no me vas a dar, no me vas a dar, no me vas a dar. Ahí, ahora sí. Joder. Y a la estatua invertida.
Looks like
Es que me encanta lo de la estatua invertida.
an eerie, lifeless, dark chamber. I understand the evil aura you were describing earlier.
Oh, such a scary place.
Be careful to not be overwhelmed by the power of the defiled statue. The Abyss Herald. It's here.
You sense correctly. You are just as vexatious as ever, Dainsleif, enemy of the Abyss. I sense your soul is stained by terrible bloodshed, perhaps from your darkest nightmares. Unless... Oh, and something far more dangerous. You reek of a then we are the same. We're both dangerous. But
It is your words that forever reek of time to silence you.
Venga. Pero pegándole solo yo, ¿no?
No touching.
it's a roar!
Au.
Born of ice and frost. Illusion shattered. Access to...
Aquí me están atacando ya muchos.
For Rex Lapis. Next on the agenda.
Me cago en. Voy y le tiro ahí, en serio. Buah.
Let the show begin.
There is no escape.
Go, Barbara.
No, ataca este. Cago en la leche, qué pesados que son. Mira, uno fuera. Ya me falta el otro. Esa, por Dios. Se me quitan los magos del abismo.
Did I miscalculate? My contract.
Me cago en.
Shine down.
Retribution!
Intentar resucitar.
I'll protect us. No touching.
Joder, yo entre la puntería y eso voy muy malamente. Venga, ahora se pone el... Es su peor cagada esta. Esa es tu peor cagada, muchacho. Ponerte el escudito de agua cuando estoy llevando un personaje. Un personaje de hielo. Y te acerques. Hace pocos ataques tú vas a hacer. ¡Hala, hala! Ahí con la chulería, pero bueno. Si chuleamos, chuleamos todos, ¿eh? Anda, hombre. Y con esto... ¡Me cago en! Esto se acaba... Ahí está, se acabó. Vamos allá con la gran sorpresa. La revelación del hermano. Bueno, en este caso el hermano, si vas con el chico, es la hermana. Que creo que la hermana es lo que es canon.
Hey! Could that be?
Lumine.
Vámonos de aquí, esto es muy peligroso.
Wait! He just blocked an attack against the Abyss Herald. Your brother and the Abyss?
Lumine. Why are you with Dane?
Que ahora se me hace escuchar la voz del personaje.
Uh-huh. Your brother knows Dane?
Ether, we meet again.
What's going on here? Dane knows him too?
You shouldn't team up with this man. He is my enemy.
Ether.
But it must be said. Don't try to stop me. Don't try to stop the Abyss. That man Dainsleif was the Twilight Sword, one of the royal guards of the final dynasty of Conria. 500 years ago, he failed to prevent the destruction of Conria. A curse of immortality was laid upon him, to forever wander the wilderness, while he watched the people he was supposed to protect turn into the monsters of the Abyss.
You're saying Dane is from Conria? The same Conria that was destroyed 500 years ago? And you said the people turned into monsters? You're trying to tell Paimon that the Abyss Order is not only related to Conria, but is actually the people of Conria themselves? And the whole thing about Dane being your enemy... Paimon's so confused.
Volvamos a nuestro hogar, claro, ese es nuestro objetivo.
Yes, of course. Home is wherever we are together. But I cannot go with you to the next world to find a new home. At least, not yet. Until the Abyss has engulfed the thrones, my war with destiny will see no end. Listen to me, Lumine. I have already traveled through this world once. Once you reach the end of your journey as I did, you will see for yourself the true nature of this world. So we'll meet again. Though we need not rush, sister. I have more than enough time to wait for you. We have always had enough time.
Left. Oh, don't be too sad. We'll find them again. Look on the bright side. At least we got some really useful information.
Aún hay esperanza.
That's right.
Aunque, ¿qué tipo de esperanza?
At least now, as well as the Seven, Dane is also a key part of finding your sibling too, right?
Y veamos a Inazuma, también debemos estar
That's
alertas.
right. By the way, what they said just now is all pretty Oh! First off, that Abyss Herald called your brother Prince.
El príncipe del abismo.
Seems like your brother is leading the Abyss Order. Even the Abyss Herald answers to him. Still, we don't know for sure if he's the highest ranking leader in the organization. Also, your brother said that he wants to engulf the thrones and go to war with Destiny. What the heck does that mean? Could it be he wants to destroy the Seven and the Seven Nations? Next thing, turns out the Abyss Order monsters are really what the people of Conria turned into after their nation was destroyed. This story is just plain terrifying. And Dane is from Conria too. He witnessed its destruction 500 years ago. But he didn't turn into a monster. And now he's fighting the Abyss Order. So that's why your brother said that Dane is his enemy, right? But if the monsters of the Abyss are the same people that Dane protected all those years ago, then why is he enemies with the Abyss Order now? Also, how come after all this time we've spent searching for your brother, it turns out he's on the side of the Abyss?
Muchas preguntas, muy pocas respuestas. Y además Paimon, que le encantan las preguntas.
Then we can't let our journey's not over yet. Let's get a move on. Time to leave this terrible dark place and get back to the surface where the sun... If your brother wants you to reach the end of your journey, show him what you're made of. Come on, traveler. Let's go.
Vamos para allá. Nos volveremos a encontrar. ¡Cofre! ¡Cofre! Mío. Vale, fuera del dominio. Y continuamos con historia, que no sé por dónde tendremos que continuar. ¿Cómo superar una tempestad? Esta es la siguiente. Contempla las vistas desde el IUV para ordenar tus pensamientos. Que hay mucho que cosechar ahora mismo. No. Aquí. Ay, nos hemos comido ahí una de 3 pares de narices. Llevamos desde el principio del juego buscando a nuestro hermano, nos lo encontramos y nos damos cuenta de que es el príncipe de los enemigos. Nada más y nada menos. Aunque no sabemos qué es lo que significa eso del príncipe. Aún no puedo creerlo. Me mola mucho este momento de la historia porque el personaje principal pasa a estar en un estado completamente de desánimo. Incluso empieza a cambiar un poco su personalidad y eso mola. Ya era más que lo que salta a la vista. Como era de esperarse, la guía personal y comida de emergencia.
Where should we go next? If if we want to continue with the journey... Oh, you mean the guy that took your brother away in the first place?
Ahora que saber quién es.
You're right. After all, everything that followed, all this confusion, it all started... Ooh, Paimon supports that idea. Just the thought of it so sad. Well, we've ruled out 2 gods so far, the Animo and Geo Archons. So, next...
Haga dar una visita al Arconte Electro.
Paimon doesn't think we can simply walk into Inazuma. Zhongli said it was a closed nation. We'll have to find some other way in. Why don't we ask someone from Inazuma how to gain entrance? Oh, Paimon's thought of someone already. Atsuko in Lea Harbor. She's from Inazuma. Let's see what she...
Atsuko, te toca presentarte. Capítulo 2 prólogo, venga. Esto ya inicia, esto ya arranca. Vamos a ello. Venga, venga, ya no queda mucho para llegar al puerto de Inazuma, madre mía.
Next on the agenda.
Piri, piri, piri.
Oh, hello. Oh, I mean good fortune, right? I'm still learning to talk like a local. Is there anything I...
We wanted to ask, how do we get into Inazuma?
Por la puerta.
Oh, so that's why you're here. Well, there is a way,
Great! We came to the right person!
but the chance of success is incredibly small.
Me gustan los retos.
Incredibly small? Then how did you get out of Inazuma in the first place?
It was in leaving Inazuma that I found out just how dangerous this method truly was. All I had to rely on was a little wooden raft that I'd put together myself. There was a storm raging ahead of me, and after I'd escaped their clutches, I floated on the open ocean for I don't know how many days. My rations and fresh water, but to my surprise, my journey didn't end there. That's right. I escaped by the skin of my teeth. The fact that I'm even alive to tell the tale must be a sign.
What a horrible journey! And you set up...
Well, because everything is just too restrictive over there. The atmosphere is so stifling. The Kanjo Commission subjects everyone leaving or entering the nation to a protracted approval process, and I felt like,
Kanjo Commission?
along with the other 2 commissions, they oversee everything in Inazuma. We usually collectively refer to them as the Tri-Commission. I suppose they're equivalent to the 8 trades under the Liu Ichising. One of the obligations of the Kanjo Commission is to conduct rigorous identity checks on all individuals leaving or entering Inazuma. All non-nationals are processed centrally on Rito upon... Meanwhile, the Tenryo Commission is responsible for implementing the recently promulgated Vision Hunt Decree. They act like the executive arm of the Raiden Shogun's rule. Loyal, it doesn't feel good to speak ill of my home like this. But after spending so long under that oppressive atmosphere, what I mean to say is, unless you have an extremely compelling reason to go to Inazuma, you should abandon your plans of trying to get there. You should know that the sea around Inazuma is engulfed in a perpetual tempest of wind and rain. Supposing you survived that, you would still need to get past the samurai guards that enforce the Sakoku Decree. And even if you did manage to find a way, you'd still have to produce the necessary documentation at the Rito Center for processing Outlanders. Otherwise, you'd
Papeleo,
be
sí,
kicked
que
out.
siempre el papeleo es lo peor.
We really don't want anyone setting foot in Inazuma, huh?
They only set that up as a port to guarantee a supply of goods and information to the island. Most Outlanders would be unable, but if you really are set on going...
The raft idea sounds a little...
That's not what I meant. You could ask someone from the Crux Fleet if they have some way of getting you to Inazuma. Their voyaging far and wide has made them a well-traveled group with a wide range of experiences. They may just know...
You're right! Paimon sure get us there, but Paimon wonders if she'll be willing to take the risk.
Seguro que
Yonko is the
sí.
flagship of the Crux fleet. I heard that it's currently anchored by Guyun Stone Forest on a supply run.
Then there's no time to lose. Let's go find.
Ah, para allá. Esto, lo bueno también es que el barquito ahora me puedo transportar directamente a él. Directamente, si como tuviera que venir aquí a pata, nos quedábamos aquí esta mañana.
Oh, if it isn't the traveler in Paimon. I knew you guys would come.
Paimon? What a fascinating being. You two give off not only the essence of wind and earth, but also of...
Huh? The fragrance of what now? That's the weirdest compliment Paimon's ever heard.
Pay it no heed. I mean only to say I am certain that it is by fate, not chance alone, that we should meet. And that gives our encounter meaning.
You're
Es un
not
bardo.
far off, but they go by a different name I prefer other means of entertainment. This young man is Kaidahara Kazuha, a temporary addition to my crew for reasons I won't bore you with. Occasionally, he opens his mouth and flowers come out instead of words.
With this fine ship and the soft sea breeze, would it not be romantically irresponsible of me not to acknowledge it with a line or two of poetry?
Well, I can't argue with that. Okay, then. Once the clash is underway, I'll give you a chance to perform.
Only if the mood takes me, of course. Poetry for poetry's sake tends to lack meaning.
Hey, you don't want to pass this opportunity up too easily. Especially seeing as our...
Oh, wait a minute. What's the clash? Also, just to clarify, by great hero, do you mean?
Huh? I thought you might be here to sign up. You're telling me you've never even heard of it? The Crux Clash is a martial arts tournament that I hold. There'll be a whole bunch of folks taking part to showcase their talents. There are two important rules. One, competitors must be renowned fighters. We want those with real martial arts ability. Not just... So, you've got nothing to worry about there. I don't think there's any... Two, you can't take part if you've got a vision. Otherwise, things get a little one-sided.
Técnicamente yo no tengo una visión, pero aún así puedo manejar los elementos.
You must be feeling confident, but you might want to watch out. There are a few crouching tigers and with Liu as savior taking part in the tournament. Now that's gonna turn a few heads.
But we didn't come here to take...
Well, before you dismiss the idea completely, you might be interested to hear that the prize this time round is Get this. It's a masterless vision.
Supplied by myself, as a matter of fact. If the tournament champion can reawaken that vision, it belongs to them.
Is there really such thing as a masterless vision?
Por desgracia sí, y hay muchas visiones y que ya la veremos cuando lleguemos a
When a
Inazuma.
vision bearer dies, the light in their vision will fade away. But the shell that housed that light remains. As for whether this shell has any practical application, well, this remains to be seen. But my intuition tells me that while it remains in the world, it may just be possible for someone else to inherit it.
Yep, and the way I see it, a vision is a badge of recognition from the gods. So if anyone's able to rekindle it, it's gotta be an individual of exceptional strength, and organizing the clash is my way of uncovering hidden talents. And hopefully this time, getting a vision to glow again. So if you don't have a vision, this is the perfect opportunity to get your hands on one of your very own.
Realmente no necesito una visión.
We're interested in getting to Inazuma.
Inazuma? You?
Well, why didn't you say so? Inazuma? No sweat. In that case, if you win the tournament, I'll give you a choice. Masterless Vision, or a ticket to Inazuma.
Ah, qué fácil.
To take part in your tournament.
What's wrong with that? The more talent we have, the better the tournament will be. I couldn't let a competitor like you fall through the net.
What are we gonna do? Looks like we pretty much have to do this tournament if we want to get to Inazuma, huh?
Confío en mi habilidad.
Then let's
Además le
go
vamos a dar una
find
paliza a todos.
Head to the tournament arena in Guyun Stone Forest. Kazuha,
It seems like it will only be a matter of time.
Además el poeta este me pone nervioso. El porreta este. Ah, pues ya. ¡Ah! Le di a los tres. ¡Pollo! Voy a venir por aquí porque si no voy a activar por ahí 4... Ay, los diré. 4 bichos de estos de las ruinas. Ah, que no están ahora. Pensaba que sí que iban a estar.
Before we sign up, let's see who the other competitors are.
Venga, vamos a ver.
They
Los otros
said that
competidores.
they had to be renowned fighters. Who will we be up against?
Tío Yun. ¿Te parece majo?
Hello. Are you here to compete in the Crux Clash?
You bet I am. Have you put your names down yet? Well, I'd have a look at the entrance criteria if I were you. Then allow just anyone to take part. The Clash is a comprehensive test of fighting ability. Anyone who turns up for show over skill is gonna get their butt handed. Nobody wants.
Yeah, we heard a rule about that. So, Paimon's wondering.
Me? Only a former runner-up in the Chihu Rock Freestyle Combat Summit. Oh yeah.
Competición de lucha libre.
What? You? Nonsense. Have you been living under a rock? It's been going on for years. There were plenty of competitors when I
Haciendo
took
amigos.
part. Not to mention, I've helped the Millilith catch treasure hoarders before. There were 2 of them trying to escape. I soon sorted them out. They tried to sneak past me under the cover of darkness. They didn't know what hit them. I planted a left hook on the skinnier one's face and sent him flying. Then, the big guy pulled out a knife. I stood my ground, of course. A roundhouse kick sent the blade hurtling into a beam above us.
Peligroso.
I told you. Unarmed, outnumbered 2 to 1, but I still... I'm not saying I came out completely unscathed, of course. But the fact remains that I did manage to subdue the both of them. And hand them over...
Uh-huh. But for us, even 4 or 5 treasure hoarders at a time is all in a day's work. Alright.
I'll see you in the arena. But I don't plan on losing to a pair of children anytime soon.
Ya me ha caído mal, tengo ganas de dar una paliza.
Next on the agenda.
A ver, Chai Yi y Liang.
Hi there. Are you here for the Crux Clash too?
That's right. Nothing beats real-life combat for honing your skills. That's what our master taught us.
Vale.
But this tournament is more than just a chance to put training into practice. It's also a chance for us to obtain the master list.
Exactly. With a vision, we'd quickly become our master's top students.
This master of yours must be pretty incredible, huh? I think...
Famous? He's the founder of the Lingshan clan, and his skills are unparalleled. Liang and I are both proud disciples of his.
No me suena eso, eh.
You probably wouldn't have heard of it. It was founded quite recently. The clan is nowhere near as famous as the master himself, anyway. He's got to be a grand master or something. He's created many different styles of kung fu, and countless other clans have borrowed extensive. To the Lingshan clan, he teaches a special technique known as force dispersal.
Force dispersal?
It's a type of breathing exercise where you can train yourself to harness the energy around you and neutralize attacks without moving an inch. For example, our master can use it to alter the path of an attacking fist, or change the direction of an incoming stone, all without breaking.
One time, he sent a challenger flying into the air without lifting a finger.
It sure is, but it's extremely difficult to cultivate this ability. We've been training for ages and we're still getting to grips with the very basics.
Para mí que eso les ha rechazado un poco, eh.
Clearly not that naturally gifted, or we would have at least gotten the gist by now. If we don't start making progress soon, we'll probably run out of money to pay the tuition fees and still have nothing to show for all our training.
There's a tuition.
Of course! This is a Grand Master we're talking about here. He doesn't have time to waste. If you want face-to-face training, you can...
But here we are, having trained under him directly all this time without even a hint of improvement. Master is getting increased. Recently, though, we heard that a Vision Bearer joined the Guhua clan and made pretty much instant progress in their training.
So, if we can get our hands on a Vision too, maybe we can finally make our master proud.
Esa es otra razón por la que no pueden dominar esa
Well, we
técnica.
have to try something new. Otherwise, we're
Exactly. It can't hurt to try. And if it turns out it does work, the Ling Shan clan will go down in history. Folks will come from far and wide. Heck, we could even become the dominant martial arts clan in all of Liyue.
A tu no le falta, eso hay que decirlo. Venga. Ya vamos, estos también me caen bien. Ya vamos con el último gilipollas de todo. Jinju.
Hey, youngster. Are you here for the Crux Club? If so, seems I found myself another...
So you're also here for the tournament?
You better believe it. I wouldn't be here if I didn't think I could walk away as champion. For me, obtaining a vision is the final and most important piece in the puzzle that is my life. No. It's not about what I want to do. This is about who I want to be. I am looking to become a perfect person. I know how that sounds, but let me explain. I've lived a successful life so far, without any... I've passed every exam I've ever taken, enjoyed numerous successful business ventures, and seem to get on with just about everyone. In most people's eyes, I am already the very embodiment of the perfect person. Though, of course, I'd never let the praise get to my head. I know I haven't reached perfection yet. A vision.
You have so much self-confidence.
That's not important. I have a contact in the Crux fleet who was happy to vouch for me. So, they very kindly made... I've also brought along a bit of an entourage for moral support. It's such a Of course, I also put in a few good days' practice, concentrating mostly on rare and esoteric styles of Kung Fu. As a high achiever by nature, I'm confident. Ha! You don't mince your words, do you?
Me parece un poco
The
tonto.
arena will be the judge. Now then, if you don't mind, I need to finish my pre-competition routine. It's not too long now before you'll get to see me in it.
Vamos a inscribirnos ya.
We're up against an inflated ego, some gullible guys paying way too much for their kung fu classes, and another guy who's just really average.
Wuhan.
Chinksa Village arm wrestling champion, huh? All right, you're signed up. Next, please. What's your name? Wait, aren't you? Did I hear that right?
Is it really them?
Huh? Aren't they a vision bearer, though? Why are they trying to...
I have to ask. Aren't you the traveler that helped Leo? It's really hard.
The one that spoke with Lady Kuching at the rite of parting.
Oh, I wonder if I can get her
La
autograph.
cara de chulería de Paimon me encanta.
I trust you are aware that only those without visions can enter the tournament. Really? But from what I've heard, the things you're capable of in combat are nothing short of extraordinary. You walk into the most dangerous situations imaginable, face off against all sorts of monsters.
Yep, she still doesn't have a vision, though.
My apologies. I didn't mean to be rude. I'm sure a great hero like yourself would have no reason to lie. Now, could I ask you to provide a few claims to fame? It's just a formality for you, of course, but I have to make a record of competitors'
algún
achievements as part
logro.
of the sign-up. So far, I've got defeated the ancient god Osail, so that's one. Do you have any others?
Soy caballera honoraria de Favonius.
Also, don't forget to mention that the previous battles include, but are not limited to, Storm Terror.
Whoa!
Might as well declare her the
Me
champion.
encanta la cara que tiene aquí en Paimon. Bueno, también la viajera también tiene unas caras de chulería de 3 pares de narices.
I wonder if it's too late to withdraw.
Okay, that's plenty. Actually, this is the most dazzling track. Right, your registration is complete. Now, a brief word. A great hero such as yourself can surely only be here for one thing. To win the tournament and claim the grand prize. Namely...
Oh, we're not here for that. We're here because Captain Beto promised that
There's another prize, too? First I've heard of it.
Beto must have upped the stakes this time to attract top.
But why would anyone want to go somewhere as dangerous as Inazuma?
I see. So, I take it you discussed your terms with... Well, I'm sure a great hero has an important reason for being here. Anyway, the qualifying rounds are about to begin.
Hey, so Paimon's thinking about that whole even though you don't have a vision, most people in Tibet. So Paimon thinks you probably shouldn't use your elemental abilities during the tournament. In any case, looking at the competition, it should still be all right. It's showtime.
You seem like you're raring to go. Are you ready to compete? Good. Then please.
Vamos a ello.
Seems like you've got a pretty good chance of winning this thing.
Our next competitor is seen by many as the favorite to win this tournament. Her first bout begins now!
Come on, let's go sign up.
You? You're the hero they're talking about?
Ah, da por culo. El primero vencido. Venga, next.
Well, now that we've won, let's go and see Beto. She'll probably have something to say to us.
I knew I wouldn't regret introducing. So, what do you think, Kazuha? She totally...
Impressive. But I also observed our...
Well, I fought my fair share of battles, both big and small. And I say, after the... So, come on. We all know you've got a wide vocabulary in there. Can't just...
All right. Let me... You fought well.
All right, then. I was thinking your inner poet might want to join in the fun, but I guess I shouldn't put you on this. You know, a lot of competitors came to me saying how surprised they were that Liu was, and since you signed up, we've had many others do the same, with more than a few top-tier fighters among them. I'm sure lots of them are here to find out. Well, since everyone sees you as the one to beat, I figure I should start treating you that way. For one thing, we don't want you wasting all your energy in the early rounds fighting people who are well below your level. Not to mention, you must be itching to fight someone. So, I'm putting...
Venga, a las semifinales.
This is how Captain Beto works. Besides, at your level...
To be fair...
All right, I'm gonna watch some more of the tournament. If there's any potential contenders for you... We're finally here, folks. The real...
The captain seems to have high hopes for this tournament. I have not seen her so excited in quite some time. Your opponent has fought many rounds to get to the semifinals. You may well be stronger than him, but this should not give you cause. Very well.
All right, that's enough chit-chat for now. The audience is waiting. Go find the crew member that...
Suhan. Méteme a la batalla, venga.
Your opponent in the semifinals is new to the Crux Clash, but he has quickly become... I do not doubt your abilities, but I would suggest that...
Relax. My girl's at the top of her game.
Okay, follow me.
¡Al lío!
At last, the moment we've all been waiting for.
Que se está moviendo, eso es trampa.
Have begun. Who's it gonna be this time? The hero or the dark horse?
I don't care about the prize. You're a strong opponent. That's what I'm here for.
¡Hala! ¡A fregar!
I'm sweating all over. Congratulations. I was beaten by the best. I need to train hard.
Right. For a moment there, Pine, if you had a vision, you'd definitely be...
I wanted a vision once, when I was a kid. People said that if you're... But mine never came. I lost interest eventually. You can't depend on a vision like you can your own body. I've fought and won against Vision Bearers before. The power they have was given to them by the gods.
Huh? You mean you didn't sign up to try and get your...
No, I didn't. Only in defeat can you understand your weaknesses and learn from them. So I'm pleased with today's outcome. I don't often have the pleasure of experiencing defeat.
Wow! Now that's true strength talking.
If you have the chance in the future, please come and spar with me again. I will be
by the way, do you know who...
Whether they'll be as tough as me, I don't know. But so don't get too...
There he goes. Maybe we should ask around, see what we can find out about our opponent.
Jun, a ver qué nos cuentas.
That's you! I myself was eliminated in the 3rd round.
Maybe next time, huh?
Why, yes. He's the same one who defeated me. He is a formidable opponent. I faltered for but a brief moment. But given my stature, I have no fear of squaring off with physically strong opponents. But faced with a nimble, agile opponent such as him, still, I'm sure he'll be no match for you.
Los hermanos, aunque queda uno.
Hey there!
He tried to use force dispersal to deflect a punch, but instead he took it straight to the nose. There was blood all over the place. His opponent was pretty freaked out by it. He kept asking him, why didn't you dodge? But he was pretty much, why don't you dodge, they ask. Because to not dodge is the very essence of Lingshan clan Kung Fu. It's just that he hadn't quite mastered it yet. Don't even get me started. I spent all my energy helping him get from here to the boat to take him back to the harbor. But by the time I got back, I don't dare tell my master about this. Otherwise, I'd never hear the end of it. Sorry, I shouldn't be complaining in front of you like this. I'm afraid I'm still a bit out of sorts at the moment. So I probably won't be able to help you with whatever you were here to
Oh, alright then.
Thanks, I'll do my best.
We still haven't got any useful information yet.
You gave an outstanding performance. I could sense that you're not familiar with bouts of this kind. And it could have cost you the match, but you were quick to adapt and managed to claim victory over your opponent. That is a most invaluable skill. In fact, I discerned this not from what I saw, but what I heard. The ground beneath your feet, and the pattern of your breathing. But it is nothing remarkable.
He's right. But in my case, I guess not using your elemental powers must be quite new for you, huh?
We wanted to ask about who our opponent will be in the final round. Do you...
Not exactly. Contenders that reach the finals aren't as for the guy you'll be facing. His skill lies in his speed, and he has superior form. What's the matter? Worried that you've bitten off more than you could...
If that is the case, then I have a proposal for you. I haven't properly introduced myself yet.
Yeah, we could tell that from your getup. But at the same time, when you talk, you don't really sound like someone who's used to waving a sword around.
It is true that I am versed both in literary and martial traditions. But on the straggling path of a wandering samurai, is there harm in acquiring a surplus skill? I do not mean to flaunt my martial prowess, but I myself have witnessed reputable fighters hailing from across the lands. I do possess some knowledge regarding given your talents. A few hints from me will be all that...
Hang on. Don't you think...
Gathering intelligence is an essential part of any duel. You must... Besides, our favorite here has fought many battles on their journey from Mondstadt.
You betcha. Wait a second.
Does one not leave a trail when traveling through the wild? However, there is only so much that can be discerned from these traces. I sense that many things about you elude me still. Come with me. Some post-match entertainment is in...
Vamos de paseo. Pues no podíamos ir allá al lado, no, tenemos que ir a otra isla. A la toma. Cómete un poco de hielito.
Now that we're alone, let me cut to the... You are skilled in manipulating the elements. And not just a single element, but multiple.
I'm Paimon knew that you were hinting at something from the moment we met. You've...
That's right. If the other contenders were to catch wind of your elemental abilities, if I'm not mistaken, you share these considerations, given your reluctance to use... When I talk about that which I see or hear in you, since a young age I have been attuned to the tidings of nature. I hear the breath of the wind, and it is things of this nature that I also hear from...
As crazy as all that sounds, somehow...
My humble abilities are negligible compared to your incredible... To think a human could wield the elements without a vision, and not to mention your incredibly complex scent, like that of some mysterious...
Hey, stop evaluating us based on our smell! It's weird!
Could you perchance enlighten me as to how you managed to obtain your combined elemental abilities? Extraordinary. So then, might I be so bold as to inquire how exactly it is that you learned to channel elemental energy?
It's nothing really. Paimon just... It's been a long journey, and many things have happened along the way. Somehow, she just naturally learned to use the elements through it all. Honestly, even Paimon doesn't Perhaps
such unfathomable things are the essence of the gods, and the visions... However, I still wish to have the honor of seeing how you... Of course, I too shall share with you all that I've learned. That will make it a fair... Now then.
Combatir.
Next on the agenda...
There is no escape!
Verdict is...
Your skills in battle are truly beyond reproach. Your opponent is skilled at controlling his breathing and maintaining balance, which enables him to execute moves that many would find impossible. He relies entirely on the element of surprise to defeat. In other words, as long as you remain mindful of his ability to detect weak points, then his attacks should pose no threat to you. Please, save your thanks. If anything, I should be thanking you for the opportunity to witness your command of the elements that defies... The world is a truly mysterious place, it seems. And one will...
You seem kind of obsessed with visions, but don't you already have your own?
I desire to know what meaning and what influences the gods' decision to grant humans... My apologies. You must be complete for allowing me the honor of witnessing your mystical ways.
Hola, Fran.
To answer
Bienvenido.
any questions you may have regarding Inazuma. So that's what you're curious about? As you well know, a vision hunt decree is currently underway. Visions are a gift bestowed by the divine. People that have accepted this gift are now having their visions confiscated inexplicably. Sometimes in circumstances that leave their original recipients. In the outset, supposing each of the 7 archons had their criteria for granting visions to living beings, then does the current Electro-Archon now doubt these criteria? Not to mention, with no new Electro-Visions having been granted for such a long time, it would...
She sounds less like an Archon and more like a tyrant.
As far as I know, she is an Archon that pursues eternity. She will relentlessly carry out her will. Liyue's contracts are meant to benefit all who reside within Liyue. But what does Inazuma's pursuit of eternity bring to its people? It goes without saying that the people locked within Inazuma do not fare well these days.
Sounds a lot like something the god you encountered in the beginning would...
Oh? Have you encountered the Electro-Archon before?
Electro no.
With time, we will change. But the Shogun will remain the same. If you wish to find her, she will forever be there. There will come a day when I too shall wish to understand the answers to eternity. The time for your match is approaching.
Oh, right! We got so distracted talking about...
If you have no other matters to attend to, then we can return. Very well.
Vamos
Let's go.
juntos.
I wish to...
De vuelta al torneo. Que todavía no hemos llegado a Inazuma.
Why isn't he here? Never mind. We can start by making... Everyone, listen up! Your attention! We've reached the climax of the Crux Clash. This is the final match. We've seen many exciting battles today, and now, at long last, the two finalists... Now, I'd like to introduce our first combatant. Though few have seen her, her reputation knows no bounds. She strikes fear into the heart of Osile, and the mere mention of her name causes even Fatui Harbingers to turn pale in the face. Introducing Liua's traveling hero.
Después de todo lo que ha dicho de Osaya, lo de los Fatu y demás, el que aparezca así con una sonrisa en plan es un poco raro, no sé.
Wow! I've been waiting for. I'm sure everyone witnessed her thrilling match in the semifinals. But today's final round will. As for our other combatant, he still. Come on, what could be taking him so long? You can't just forfeit for not showing up like in previous rounds. This is the finals. Apologies, everyone just sit tight. We've got no other choice. If he doesn't show up, we'll just have to postpone.
Wait a moment. Captain Beto, perhaps we should check on the traveler.
Let me see. It's gone all right. The vision...
Huh? Did somebody steal it? Who did?
We don't know when it was taken exactly. I never thought that someone here would have the guts.
No need to worry. Even the craftiest sleight of hand. The culprit has only acted recently. The vision was the prize that I had offered, and it was my responsibility to look after it.
Well, if you insist. I'll stay here and try to offer some explanation to all the spectators that came to...
If you would, please come with me.
De todas formas, como no aparece mi rival, pues vamos para allá.
With me. I can sense the winds.
¡Uy! ¡De viaje!
A wind current?
The winds have come at an opportune moment. Let's seize this chance. Ride the winds upward. From there, we can continue our search for clues.
Me he comido una buena leche.
By the way, what made you suddenly think of checking the price in the first place?
I heard it the moment it was stolen.
Well, then why didn't you stop him?
You'll see shortly.
Prepare yourself.
Yo y la puntería, de verdad.
Run from death.
Ready, steady, go!
The winds are guiding us forward. The culprit is on the opposite shore now.
You can hear that too? What does it sound like?
Hubris. This way. Follow me. There may be an ambush waiting for us up ahead, but I trust that you are well prepared for such a scenario.
Hoarders, they're here! Get them!
Treasure hoarders, just as I expected. In which case, please stand back.
Eliminaos todos.
Next on the agenda.
There is no escape.
You caught up with me? How is that possible? I had even prepared a boat to ensure a quick getaway.
No boat could ever match the speed of the wind.
The wind? What are you talking? Drat! If I only had a vision. Or if I could activate
This has nothing to do with visions. You may be skilled at vanishing from a crowd, but it seems you know. Additionally, your chosen escape route was flawed for reasons that are too numerous to go into. And on top of that, I could hear your boasting and proud laughter in the wind. In other words, you failed to meet any of the basic...
You...
But most disappointing of all is the state of the vision in your hand. It appears that the vision doesn't respond to human desire in
Fine! I've had my eyes on this vision for quite some time now. I decided to register after hearing that this fighting contest was full of a bunch of lousy
Aha! So you were supposed to be—
I'd intended to win the contest through skill alone all along. But then you showed up. After watching the semi-finals, I knew that I didn't stand a chance. But I wasn't about to give up. Since there was no use in trying to face you in the match, I decided to put my skills. I was convinced I prepared thoroughly for my escape, but somehow, after all I went through to get it, I think not. Really? Fine. But you'd better mean it.
You know, according to the laws of the sea, the penalty for stealing is...
Huh? You're not
Not to mention that the item you stole was a prize. You didn't show up for the final match. It seems that it would be only fair to brand the word thief on your forehead with a hot iron.
Me cae bien Kazuha.
Oh, whoa! We don't need to go that far, do we?
I never would have guessed you could. If this is where talking gets me, then forget it. I'll risk.
Ah, azurarse.
Retribution!
Access denied.
I'll have my revenge, eventually.
No. Do what you want, but please, don't.
He has persevered to the bitter end, and now death looms near. Put down the vision and leave. I've changed.
Huh?
What's wrong? It's up to you. Such willingness is commendable.
No need for that.
Huh? Hyman doesn't get it.
I take no pleasure in frightening others. I was just testing all. When people are forced into a corner, that is when their greatest strength will appear. But unfortunately, nothing happened. Yes. I wanted to know whether it were possible for an extinguished vision to be reawakened. From the moment he stole the vision, I decided I've tried many other methods in the past, though few tales tell of a masterless vision reawake. After seeing you command multiple elements, I figured that nothing is impossible. Come, why don't you give it a try? Let's see if you can give me the answer I'm hoping.
Nah.
The vision didn't seem to respond.
I see. So you are also unable. No matter. This was expected.
Yeah, what's the story behind this vision?
The story begins with an old friend. He was once a good friend of mine. One day he asked me about a sword art of which he had heard, the Musono Hitotachi. I told him it can only be witnessed when divine punishment is administered. It is the pinnacle of the Raiden Shogun's skill, a symbol of ultimate power. But he replied, there must be one who can withstand it. There will always be those who dare to brave the lightning's glow. Then, the Vision Hunt decree arrived. People's aspirations were stripped away as the Raiden Shogun began to construct her ideal of eternity. While I was fleeing from place to place, I heard that my friend had challenged the Vision Hunters to a duel before the throne. A solemn yet brutal challenge. The defeated face divine punishment, while the victors gain a second chance. Perhaps he thought he of all people should make a stand. Coming face to face with the Musono Hitotachi was all that he truly desired, after all. When I arrived at Tenchukaku, the duel was over. I heard his sentence of divine punishment, his severed blade hitting the ground. Perhaps that was the glory he had yearned to witness. In his last moments, what expression was on his face? Before I knew it, I had stepped forward and snatched the dying vision and was running from the scene. All I knew was that I mustn't let his hope, which burned so brightly, become buried among the ice-cold statue of a god. Perhaps one day, I may come to find that all I have done is, but as a wandering samurai, I find meaning in traveling and the sprawling beauty of nature that lies along the way, while still retaining the warrior way in
Kazuha.
It's just another way of saying I do as I please. All right then.
It's
It's time we returned. Do not let my feelings trouble, but thank you.
Ya, bueno, regresemos.
Next on the agenda.
Y si alguno se lo pregunta, sí, esta Shogun Raiden es la Arconte Electro, de la que están hablando en la historia. Que ya la tengo de personaje jugable. Ahora estoy a fugar. Ya, creo que ya por fin vamos a ir a Inazuma. Por fin empieza Inazuma.
Did Beta leave already?
If you're looking for the captain, it seems that the Crux clash got out of hand this time and has attracted her attention. Captain Beto was muttering something about Ningguang being a stick in the mud.
It's not unusual for those two to be at odds with one another.
But still, Captain Beto was disappointed she didn't get to witness the crowning of the new champion. She had been looking forward to it for quite some...
The one who stole the vision was originally to be this hero's opponent, and he knew he stood no chance of winning the match. Thus, in which case, the Crux clash comes to...
Huh? So if that's the case, then the rules stipulate that he is disqualified.
Hyman thought we'd win and all, but not like...
It doesn't matter. As the saying goes, honor given is honor deserved. Now, let me go prepare the champion's medal to award you.
Yes, I believe so. Though Captain Beto is no longer present here, I'll be but the voyage to Inazuma is a treacherous one. You will be plagued by a perpetual tempest the entire trip. In fact, the relentless rain and wind are also an embodiment of the Raiden Shogun's will to close the nation.
Hold on a second. You're saying she can change the weather just with the power of her mind?
Es un arconte que maneja electricidad.
Let us not
Pues sí.
forget that this is one of the 7 Archons. If Liyue's Morax could form Guyun's stone forest by casting down his stone spears, then it should come as no great surprise that the Raiden Shogun is capable of summoning any Suffice it to say that if you wish to journey to Inazuma, the Alcor will need some time. You will be notified once all the preparation. In the meantime, I intend to embark on a journey of my own. I will travel all across the vast lands of Li.
Hyman believes you'll find a way for...
Thank you. May both our journeys prove meaningful. One final word of warning. The part of your journey that lies after the storm may well prove to be the most arduous.
Prólogo completado del capítulo 2. Venga, vamos con el siguiente. ¡Izad las velas! Y aquí vamos a Liyue. Venga, ya. Esto está hecho ya. Ah, bueno, mira, ya que estoy, voy a pasar por aquí. O sea, a alguno le apetece. Tiki, tiki, ti. Esto sería por aquí. Paso por aquí el enlace al Stream Loots para, vamos, si queréis haceros con alguna de las cajitas gratuitas, que en teoría todavía se pueden seguir obteniendo. Una por cada uno, no me seáis. Bueno, para conseguir ciertas cartas que os permitirán también interactuar un poquito más con los directos. Ahí, bueno, si os hacéis con alguna, tened en cuenta que habrá cartas que serán a lo mejor pues de uso más general, otras que serán más de, pues a lo mejor para el Genshin Impact, otras que serán más para el Lost Ark. Entonces, pues bueno, también tenedlo en cuenta por si cogéis alguna que no os liéis y utilicéis una carta de Lost Ark cuando estéis jugando a Genshin Impact, que de todas maneras las podría devolver. Si las utilicéis en un momento que no debería de ser, os la puedo devolver luego y no pasa nada.
Ah, yes. I've heard that you've already made arrangements with the captain of the Crux fleet regarding your passage to Inazuma. Now that I think about it, it's been quite some time since I last visited
Si os hacéis con alguna y tenéis alguna duda sobre cómo usarlo y demás, preguntad por el chat.
Intel that would be worth sharing with you.
There you are. You're the traveler that Beidou will be taking to Inazuma, right? The fleet is nearly completed reprovisioning. Once the crews have taken a head count, we can get underway. Captain Beidou sent me to come get you. We'll weigh anchor as soon as you're aboard.
Seems Beidou is the captain of her word.
Of course. There are many things that the captain insists upon. I'm sure you'll see for yourself once you're on board.
So you'll be heading off then? I suppose whether the journey before you leads to the heights of the heavens or the depths of the abyss, each step until we meet again. Ad Astra Abyssosk.
Ad Astra Abyssosk.
Oh, it's kind of hard to say goodbye now. We practically see each other every...
Well, if that's how you feel, why not come and find me when you arrive? I'll be awaiting you.
Hay otra Catherine ahí.
Inazuma? See? There's no need to get all sappy now.
Well, I guess it's time for you to bid farewell to Liyue Harbor. Now that I've delivered my message, I'll be heading back. The ship is currently anchored.
Okay, thanks for coming.
Just following orders. I'll see.
Vamos a Akstor, venga. Capítulo 2, acto 1. La diosa inmutable y la utopía eterna. ¡Vamos para allá! ¡Que nos vamos a Inazuma! ¡Venga! Bueno, apenas dentro de las 2 horas he podido hacer... voy a poder completar el objetivo de llegar hasta el puerto.
You finally made it. All these years, come rain or storm, the Crux fleet has never suffered a delay. If it were anyone else, I might... Don't look too serious, I'm only joking. You're just on time. The crew have just finished making... We set sail for the land engulfed by storm and tempest. The nation of eternity.
Anchors away!
Allá que nos vamos. Ya está, tanto decirnos aquí que hay una tormenta alrededor. Ya hemos llegado. Ya hemos llegado.
Ahoy there.
El gran toma.
So, you finally made it. You sure kept me waiting, Captain. And it appears we have a couple of stowaways. Or perhaps I should say, honored guests.
Shush!
You can blame your almighty Shogun. The tempests around Inazuma have been growing all the more fierce lately. Though the fleet was fully up to the challenge, the inclement weather still caused some delay. Now then, let me introduce everyone. This is Toma, a trade partner that I've gotten to know recently.
You don't know how long I've been waiting to see you.
Toma, these two are...
Oh, no need for introductions. Their reputation precedes them. It seems even the stormy seas can't keep rumors of these Outlanders' sterling deeds.
No, es un placer, Toma.
With any luck, it'll give you a head start. Toma's resided on Rito for quite some time now. It wouldn't be going too far to say he's... If you run into any problems here, just talk to Toma. But if he tries to pull any moves on you, I'll be sure to deal with it.
No need to worry. I'm sure we'll get along.
Good. Then if it's all settled, I'll be going. I wouldn't want to be caught with my sails down here.
All right.
Until next time, traveler. Remember to give it your all, no matter what perilous storms you may encounter.
Fair seas, Captain.
Un pequeño paso para el hombre.
Now then, first things first. We need to go...
Paimon thought we were supposed to be keeping things on the...
Don't underestimate the reaches of the Sakoku Decree. You wouldn't be able to avoid inspection even if... So we have to play by the rules, even if we're kind of bending them.
Qué nervios. Vamos allá. Aquí estamos ya en Inazuma al fin. Y además hay con un atardecer bien bonito. Mira qué bonito. Hay unas paletas de colores de este juego que son brutales. Kageyama, ¿qué nos dices?
Hello? Please state your name, identity, and the purpose of your visit. Oh, except you, Toma. You must be new here.
Excuse me?
Please provide the information requested and also declare any goods you are carrying with you.
Venimos a buscar a mi hermano.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. We cannot approve entry for purely personal reasons. So, unless you have a... My apologies, but I'll have to ask you to...
Here are their entry papers, for your kind perusal.
What? Take your time. No...
I just wanted to see what you'd say.
I see. Okay. Your papers are all in...
So, where do we go next?
The Outlander Affairs Agency. They only check entry permits here. If you want to remain on Rito, there's a process you have to go through.
Sheesh. So it is super strict.
Well, let's not forget that to everyday folk in Inazuma, people, as the word suggests, Outlanders aren't very welcome in Inazuma with the Sakoku Decree in force. Not even on Rito, where they've established an outsider settlement. I like how you think. I've got a feeling we're going to get along very well. Now, let's head over to the Outlander. Most of the current rules were put in place by the administration of Rito, the Kanjo Commission.
Kanjo Commission?
Yes, one branch of the Tri-Commission of Inazuma, responsible for growing and managing the nation's wealth. You really haven't heard of it before?
Y ya que estoy, vamos a pillar también la estatua de los 7. Que está por aquí arriba y así ya tenemos el mapa desbloqueado de Rito. El mundo se abre para aquellos de noble corazón. ¡Bling! Y aquí tenemos ya la primera isla. Habrá unas cuantas islas que habrá que ir explorando. Hasta luego. Tenemos ya esta primera isla y hay unas cuantas islas, todo hay que decirlo. Va a haber que desbloquear mucha cosita. Hay mucha cosita por la que avanza por aquí. Yo voy a empezar a ver si soy capaz. No caigas, hombre. Todo bien que ibas, muchacha. Vale. Vamos a ver. Es que desde aquí no me llega. Dicen estos árboles tampoco. Vale. Ya probaré a hacerlo de otra manera. Es que ahí arriba hay un Electroculus. Pero bueno, tampoco es una cosa que me quite el sueño. Porque más aguante no voy a conseguir. Que tampoco es una cosa que me vaya a quitar mucho el sueño el pillar todos los Electroculus, ¿no? Así con la historia.
You've completed the entry procedures, yes?
Yes, please.
Okay, the processing fee will be 2 million mora.
Lo mejor es que lo dice como una cara seria, pero realmente está de cachondeo.
2 million?
That's right. 1 million per applicant, which makes 2 million total.
Pues no lo hice de coña.
You can trust my...
Hyman wasn't so much questioning your math as...
Ma'am, these two here...
Ah, Mr. Toma, it's you. By way of courtesy, allow me to reduce it to...
Es como el meme, puta, qué ofertón.
Thank you ever so much, but as this is just a processing fee, I think 600 mora should cover it if I'm paying on their behalf.
That's not how you haggle! By all means, bargain the price!
Alright then, as you wish, Mr. Toma. I will...
Much...
No está mal, de 2 millones de mora a 600. Es un buen negocio.
What? She went from 2 million down to 600? There's something seriously wrong with people's sense of finance around here.
It's not as mind-boggling as you think. The way some here at the agency see it, the fees are easy money. So it becomes a question of how... So when the day comes that some poor merchant from overseas with more money than sense gets stuck...
Then they'll milk them for all they're worth.
Exactly. It's at times like this that having a local friend really comes in handy. Yes, but when you're an outlander in Inazuma, far from home in this closed nation era, there's very little that the most that overseas merchants can do to look after themselves is stick together. That's how the International Trade Association came up.
So it's a trade association built by and for...
Yep. And as well as advancing commercial interests. The association provides help, support, and structure for outlanders trying to... Essentially, it's an association devoted to both commercial excellence and survival skills.
Sounds like just staying alive, isn't it?
I see. So this is the real purpose of your trip. Yes, given that you are outlanders, it's certainly...
Básicamente no vamos a poder salir de Rito de momento.
After all, the Raiden Shogun is the most
Por el simple hecho de que somos
in all of
forasteros.
Inazuma. She is a deity who reigns on high, while all other life gazes up in awe. Huh. I was going to say nothing is set in stone when it comes to who you will encounter in this world. Who's to say you won't happen to run into the... Okay, I'll give it to you straight. I know of a...
Really? Wow!
I mean, it will take all the resources I have at my disposal, but it can be done. Connections come at a high price. No. In fact, there's no real cost as such. It's just that, if this is something you really want, you'll have to agree to help other people solve some of their problems. I like to do things in a way that keeps everybody happy. It's my own personal rule for dealing with situations.
Sounds very reasonable to Paimon. You're the man in the middle, so you have to trade favors to keep everyone indebted to you.
Why do I get the feeling you're making me out to... Here's the situation. As I touched upon earlier, the members of the International Trade Association are constantly struggling to survive. Recently, things seem to have gotten more difficult than ever for them, so just go and check things out. See if there's any way you can help. The head of the association is called Carisio, and he's a good friend of mine. Go talk to him. I'll wait for you here.
Vamos a hablar con Carisu. Tenemos por ahí.
Oh? Hello there. You must be seeking refuge with the International Trade Association. Ah, good. That's a relief.
We heard the association has been having some difficulties lately.
Yes. Left, right, and center. Obstacles at every turn. But that...
The Sakoku decree certainly makes things difficult for anyone who wants to come here from a...
But it's not the root cause of our woes. The Sakoku decree might restrict our scope of activity. But in and of itself, it doesn't stop us from being able... No. What's really squeezing us Outlander merchants, those Mora grubbers from the Kanjo Commission.
Oh, of the 3 commissions,
That's right. They impose astronomical tax rate, unbelievable regulations, and they just issued a new tax decree recently that, for some reason, completely changes the way we pay our taxes. It used to be Mora, but now it's...
Crystal Marrow.
Something that most of us in the association had never heard. Eventually, one of the older Liyue merchants recalled that he once shipped a batch of it to Snezhnaya and his... So, in order to pay our taxes, we began an arduous search for this crystal marrow. But then we found we'd only managed to create a bigger problem for ourselves. The rising demand for crystal
Hello,
marrow
Mariette.
drove the price higher and higher.
Bienvenido. Aunque está siendo un directo un poco más aburrido que otras veces porque como los personajes hablan, no me permite darles voz, porque claro, o sea, me haría entrar a lenguas. Intento leer lo que tal y al mismo tiempo estar el personaje hablando, me hago un traba lengua yo solo. Entonces casi prefiero que se vayan leyendo solos. Y bueno, estoy en el inicio de Inazuma.
Exactly. So this vendor keeps pushing the price up, and we have no choice but to buy from them because the tax decree... It's a vicious cycle. The consequence of which is that our taxes will soon exceed our profits.
Sí, sí, y el hermano que andamos buscando también sigue vivo, que ya no lo hemos cruzado. Te lo has perdido el momento, ha sido, bueno, o sea, casi al principio del directo, el momento en el que se reencuentran. Pues ya ha habido un reencuentro. No muy agradable, pero ha habido un reencuentro.
We've tried communicating with the Commission directly, but this is a nation where the cries of a few struggling merchants will never be heard over the ever-present roar of thunder. Fontaine, my dear homeland.
Sounds awful. What do you think we should do?
That vendor. I've actually done business with him in the past, but after a point he stopped contacting us. I have no...
Well, it definitely sounds like he's being unfair. How do we find him? We could go talk to him and see if he lets anything slip.
Hey, that's a pretty good idea. Since you're not affiliated with the... If I remember correctly, our usual meeting point with him is under a tree by the coast in the residential district.
Got it. We're on the...
Vamos allá.
We're way behind schedule.
Aquí está la médula cristalizada, esta. Alberner.
Huh? I don't think I recognize you. Are you newer? So, what do you need with me? The sheer nerve. You don't go around asking questions like that. Trade secret. Got it? You know what?
This guy's got a bad attitude.
Ha! Are you even buying? Oh, I see what's going on here. Karisu, they're wasting their time. The price it...
Hey, what's your problem?
Get out of here, go on. Tell them they're lucky to be buying from me in the first place, and they ought to be more grateful.
What are we gonna do? There's no talking to this guy. Good idea. Let's...
Ahora lo contamos otra vez.
Mm-hmm. That was cool.
Actually, we're having a little
No? Well, by all means, tell me what you need. I'll help as getting you to go fixing things when you've only just arrived is quite a demand. Oh, that guy? He used to be a bit of a sorry sight, selling shells that he'd collect on the beach just to get by. But I can only assume he must have found himself a patron after leaving the International Trade Association.
You're saying he used to be a member?
Yes. Couldn't you tell when you spoke to him? That's right. Werner was born in Mondstadt, then went into the shipping business, trading between When Inazuma closed to the outside world, he was one of a group of The International Trade Association was initially very generous to him, but over time, with decree after decree, the association members found it increasingly difficult to...
So he left the association?
I'm sure it's more nuanced than that. I believe even the most ungrateful and cold-hearted of people still have some amount of gratitude and warmth left in them somewhere.
Really?
Well then, it sounds like you may have found a way in.
Vamos otra vez con el señor Werner.
Way behind schedule.
Vamos a decir un par de cosillas de Capullito, que está jodiendo a la misma gente que está en tu misma situación.
What are you doing back here? Just because I got plenty of time on my hands doesn't mean I want to waste any of it talking to you. Huh? Where's this coming from?
Claro, hay que hablarle un poco con los términos de Mondstadt, Liyue y demás para recordarle que él también es un forastero. Forastero, madre mía, qué mal estoy hablando hoy.
Mondstadt? You were talking about...
Claro, mira. Pues una barballa no, que tengo pocas. Te voy a dar un gancho de lobo. Además tampoco es que la use demasiado.
Goodness, I can sense it now. So familiar. The scent of Mondstadt. Oh, how it takes me... Oh, my hometown. The home of freedom. How I...
It's working!
So, trying to play... Huh? What is this?
Just close your eyes already!
You mean... the sound of the ocean?
Soy barato y delicioso!
Liyue Harbor. I can see it so clearly. Oh, and the sound of the waves. The Xiao lanterns. I'm right there at the lantern right.
Algo le ha dado los cristales estos, le ha dado algo porque está viendo cosas que no están aquí. Pues una flor deseada.
Wait. Stop. That's enough. Don't make me relive it anymore. My poor heart can't take it. You mean the folks from the International Trade Association? Often, I'll sneak down to the shore at night and listen to the sound of the waves. I've run into folks from the association more than a few times doing just that. But I always hide my face and slip away. Don't you think I've wanted to talk things through with them?
Well, no one's...
They're so resilient. None of them had anyone else to rely on, so they rallied together, committed to finding a way to survive. But I couldn't do it, so I caved. Those people, they'd make the smallest of promises, offer the most measly benefits, and I'd do whatever they asked of me. And make Mondstadters... All right, I'll tell you the whole story.
You ready to talk now?
But I betrayed them. I can't...
Come on, you scaredy cat. So come on, get...
It's a scheme by the tax collection Ashigaru. They start by overtaxing the merchants, then take the extra crystal marrow they receive and stockpile it. Once the merchants run out of places to buy crystal marrow, they get me to sell that extra stock back to the merchants at an extortionate price, with the proceeds going to the tax collection Ashigaru.
It's just...
I'm their puppet, yes. But my cut is a tiny fraction of what we take in total. Evidence. Now that I think about it, whenever I report back to him after a sale, as it happens, I handed some Mora over to him not long ago.
Really? Well, then...
¡Ah, para allá!
Next on the agenda.
Keijiro, it's hit.
After him!
Creo que le tengo que perseguir sin que me vea. Así seguro que no me ve. Uy. ¿Me he colado?
Ryoko, how's business?
Yo no estoy aquí. No existo.
Good. Thankfully.
Estoy agachado y no me ves. Ah, no me está viendo, definitivamente no me está viendo. A ver, pero yo aquí siempre tenía un pequeño problema con esta misión. Que era cuando ya íbamos hacia la playa. Que ahí siempre o me pillaba o se escapaba el cabrón. A ver, bueno, ya. Se pone aquí a correr. Y...
Drat, I'm behind schedule. I need to hurry.
He's getting further and further away! Let's catch up a little.
Ah, mira, pues me ha funcionado la primera. Genial. Claro, otras veces eso, en el momento en el que iba de camino hacia aquí, hacia la costa, era cuando de repente como me pillaba o que se alejaba demasiado.
What could he be doing at a place?
It looked like he buried something over there, didn't it? Whoa, it's boring. Paimon thought he'd hidden a big pile of Mora here.
El verdadero motivo por qué vendría Paimon.
Let me take a look here. Ah, yes! This is what we're looking for. A clear...
Great! Well, now we have our hard evidence. Let's go tell Karisu the good...
I'll...
Huh? You aren't gonna...
I need a little more time before I'm ready to face the head of the association. I'm sorry.
Huh. Poor Werner is a pretty...
Ahora volvemos con la Cámara de Comercio para decirles que todos sus problemas se han solucionado.
But we really don't have anything left. If this keeps up, our sales will come in at a loss.
You know the decree. The rules are the rules. No discounts, no exceptions, and no excuses. And who are you?
It just so happens that we found your little ledger, so now we're here to tell everyone all about how you embezzled crystal marrow to sell it right back to the...
Huh? Is this true? You've been swindling us!
Well, you...
Let me take a look at the ledger. Well, would you look at that? Every payment. So, Mr. Keijiro, it seems you have some...
So you think you can use this against me, do you? It's...
Word has it that Samurai and the Commission place great importance on reputation and prestige. Though I'm sure Commission members won't blame you once...
Huh? Is that a threat?
No, not at all. I'm simply stating that it would be quite a pity if an illustrious gentleman such as yourself were to have their reputation tarnished.
Well, even if what you say is true, what do you suggest we do?
I believe you still have a quantity of crystal marrow in your possession. Perhaps that crystal marrow could be used as compensation for the recent tax hike, and us merchants could find...
Is that it?
Do you have any idea the hoops I had to jump through to get the crystal marrow and keep it hidden? Fine.
And not even an ounce...
So that's it? My shop's been closed for weeks now. I've even had to ask my friends to help bail me out. What about my luck?
Come on, Harrison. We've already struck a...
I'm sick of being pushed around like this. I won't let him off so we...
Harrison!
Hey, what's all this racket? Does someone dare question the decree?
Ah, Chief, you've arrived.
What was all the commotion I heard just now?
Oh, we were just discussing a minor tax issue. I do my utmost to lend them a
helping hand? The only thing you're doing is stuffing your greedy pockets with our hard-earned wealth. I assure you that Hirage Shinsuke will hear—
Oh, and you dare to utter the Commissioner's name. You Outlanders have no respect for the rules. Seize the merchants. We will resolve this dispute.
Uh-oh. This is going in a...
Gentlemen, come now. Is there any need for this?
Who are you supposed to be? And...
You never heard of the Fixer?
Contesto, Paimon, contesto, por favor.
Here's my card.
Huh. You're from the Yashiro Commission. Huh. Well, this is Kanjo Commission territory. However powerful the Yashiro Commission may be, you have no business meddling in...
Of course not. Still, perhaps you could show the young... lady of our clan some courtesy. You wouldn't want your name showing up in a petition to the Shogun, would...
That fan. The Shirasagi Himegimi. I don't need any trouble with her. Okay.
But, Chief!
Enough!
Let's get dinner one day soon, gentlemen. My treat, I insist. No response, huh? I suppose that bridge is well and truly...
Thank you so much, Toma. But I'm sorry you're...
Hey, I was joking. It's a small price to pay, and you're more than welcome. If there's anyone you should be thanking, it's the Traveler. She's the one who found a way to turn things around.
Comida de emergencia. Comida de emergencia.
If nothing else, I'm sure the tax collection Ashigaru will
Sí,
tread a little more carefully.
Paimon es nuestra comida de emergencia.
Shh, not here. Too many people listening.
We're way behind schedule.
Corruption seems rife in the Kanjo Commission. They truly are rotten to the core. All right, time for me to answer your questions. What would you like to know? Let me reintroduce myself. I belong to the Kamisato clan of the Yashiro Commission on Narukami Island. I'm an attendant of the Shirasagi Himegimi.
You've been keeping yourself, the Yashiro Commission. Guessing that's another...
Correct. The Kamisato clan is the head of the Yashiro Commission, who manage ceremonial and cultural affairs. I'd go into more detail on what exactly that covers, but I'm just someone who was fortunate enough to be taken in by the Kamisato clan. My role is to take care of the daughter of the clan, Kamisato Ayaka, also known as the Shirasagi.
Seems like she must be super famous in Inazuma, given the...
Oh, most definitely. She's graceful, dignified, and kind-hearted, too. The people of Inazuma quite adore Miss. Her fame even somewhat eclipses that of her older brother, Kamisato Ayato, despite the fact that he's the current head of the clan.
Kamisato Ayato es el personaje nuevo que han metido en la última versión. Esta nueva versión 2.6.
Others with compassion earn themselves the same treatment in return. Miss Kamisato's situation certainly seems to attest to that. Take me, for example. I'm just an attendant, and yet she treats me as an equal. You're asking the right questions. And to be honest, I don't want to keep you in the dark. Firstly, you should know that being a fixer is not something you can fake. I spent the better part of a month tirelessly building up a network of relationships on the island. And I got to know Captain Beto during that time, too.
Still pretty good?
Well, maybe I have a slight knack for schmoozery. But the main thing was, I had to make sure I'd be in time to receive you when you arrived. Inazuma may have closed off to the outside world, but that hasn't stopped a lot of people from hearing about your feats and So, when Miss Kamisato heard of your intention to come to Inazuma, she began looking forward to your arrival with great... That is, that you have what it takes to change the tide.
Change the tide?
In the test I gave you earlier, although there were a few hiccups at the end, it was you who found the way to turn the situation around. Navigating powerful people, using their character flaws to your advantage. It's just what Miss Kamisato had hoped. With your help, even the Vision Hunt decree.
Estas dos respuestas son las que ya empiezan a demostrar el cambio de personalidad del personaje, de querer ayudar a decir, Chico, que yo no estoy aquí para esto. O sea, yo estoy aquí por conseguir alcanzar el final de mi viaje para poder encontrarme con mi hermano. Vuestros problemas me la sudan.
That's an unexpected development. Perhaps our sources were misleading. Yes, of course. I completely understand and as agreed.
Toma sure didn't...
Well, my work on Rito is done. Oh, one more thing. This invitation letter is for you. When you get to Narukami Island, you can find... Good luck with everything.
Toma's not such a bad guy, huh? Huh? What's up?
Te ofrecer no podemos salir de Rito.
Oh, right! Wait, so... Did Toma forget that too? Oh, darn it! No wonder he was so matter-of-fact about the whole... Soon as we get off Rito, Paimon's going straight to Komura Tea House to... Well, guess we should give it a try. Let's head to the border and...
No, de tiempo... Vale, vamos. Ya podemos avanzar un pelín más.
Stop there. Present your travel permits.
Sorry, but we really gotta get to Narukami.
If you don't have a travel permit, this is as far as you'll get. Those are the rules.
Traveler, you gotta think of something. How do we get out of Rito? Are you saying we should go and meet with the Guess it can't hurt to try. Even if Paimon has a few choice words, who knows? Maybe he's our biggest fan.
A utilizar nuestra fama a nuestro favor de una vez.
Halt! This is the Kanjo Commissioner's office. No
We're here to see,
The Kanjo Commissioner seldom entertains Outlanders. Leave now or we'll be forced to...
Ah, wait.
Oh, Commissioner!
These two are honored guests from afar. No need to give them the... Come on in. Let's see what we can...
Did you...
My sincere apologies.
Qué majo. Seguro que nos da el salvoconducto para poder salir de Rito.
I am Hiragi Shinsuke, Kanjo Commissioner and head of the Hiragi clan.
Nice to meet you, sir. So, the reason we wanted to come and see you...
All right, all in good time. Two travelers renowned far and wide have shown up to see me, and I should very much like to make their acquaintance. Let's not limit this to business.
So what you're...
Absolutely. How many other people in the world have what it takes to knock the wind out of Storm Terror's sails and put the
Exactly!
And I hear you also foiled a Fatui plot in Liyue Harbor. Even beat one of their harbingers in a duel.
Whoa! You heard about that too?
As I thought.
Something wrong?
No. I'm simply awestruck by you both is all. One other thing I heard about you is your great zeal for helping other people. This makes me wonder.
Oh, sure, no problem. Whatever you need, right?
No es por presumir, pero soy bueno en esto.
Excellent. You must know the Qingxian. A flower grows on the mountain.
Yep, we've picked a few of those before.
Yes, bring me 300 Qingxian, would you? Freshly picked, I mean.
No.
Did Paimon hear that wrong?
Too much Then how about this? We have a few
That sounds much...
709 letters to be precise.
Mi pregunta, una vez que llegamos hasta este punto, es... ¿Alguien trabaja? Porque que haya 709 cartas por repartir, eso es que ni Peter trabaja, porque... Joder.
Hey, what gives?
Terribly sorry. We're just a little short on people lately.
What sort of an explanation is that? Traveler, what are we going to do? Should we really help this guy?
That's the spirit. Don't keep me waiting too long.
Bueno, yo creo que ya voy a dejar el directo por aquí. Así que nada, oye, muchas gracias como siempre al final de los directos, agradeceros a todos los que os hayáis podido pasar por aquí para, aunque sea decir un simple hola y ya está, o vamos, ya sé que hoy el directo ha sido un poco más aburrido por el hecho de que los personajes hablaban mucho y no estaba leyendo ni poniendo voces como en otras ocasiones, pero bueno, pues cuando es cosa de la historia y demás, como los personajes ya de por sí tienen voz, pues no suelo hablar. Cuando yo empiezo a hacer alguna misión secundaria, como no suelen tener esa parte de voz actuada, pues ahí sí que les pondré un poco de voz y de leyendo un poquito más y eso. Porque sé que o sea, todo esto que tengo yo por aquí abajo, sé que corta un poco los mensajes. Y nada, eso, pues vamos, muchas gracias a todos por haber estado por aquí. Ya este es el último stream de la semana, ya el siguiente será el martes, que volveremos otra vez con Cluster Track para que volváis otra vez a meterme pequeños eventos para fastidiarme, que sé que os gusta mucho y lo pasasteis muy bien. Y... vale, voy a decir, ¿qué mierda es eso que acabas de meter ahí? ¿Eso es un brazo de pulpo? Es un brazo de pulpo, ¿no? La virgen. Yo no sé cómo encuentran esos emojis, de verdad. Pero bueno, así que muchas gracias a todos por estar por aquí. No me alargo más, que al final me pongo aquí a enrollarme y no acabo. Martes continuamos con Cluster Track, con los camiones. A ver si me lo haces que estallen, si no, o qué es lo que ocurre. Y más risas, más entretenimiento y más estar aquí todos juntos, pasándolo bien, disfrutando. Y sobre todo con una sonrisa en la cara, que es lo más importante del mundo. Venga, hasta la semana que viene.